Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jessi, also known as Miss Cherry, and I'm coming at you with an extremely anticipated video on my behalf and possibly on your behalf as well. Today I am going to be reviewing the live action Little Mermaid. It's happening. So yesterday I got a notification that our Century 16 Cinemark Cinema was premiering Little Mermaid tonight, which is May 24th, Wednesday, May 24th at 6:05 p.m. And let me tell you, I contacted my friends Sierra and Lindsay and I was like, we have to go to this immediately. And that is exactly what we did. So we bought tickets yesterday and we just got done watching the film. I've taken about 30 minutes to kind of gather my thoughts. I have a lot of thoughts. So just to give you a little bit of a background, I am a hardcore Little Mermaid fan. You may be able to tell from some of the shelves, but it is my all-time favorite movie. It's always been my comfort movie. It's always been my all-time favorite since I was a little girl. Like, this is like lifetime favorite movie situation. And so I was equally nervous and excited about this new film. And I vlogged just a little bit, and so I wanted to put the clip in here now of me driving over to go get my friend Sierra, and where I talk a little bit about what I think, how I think this film is going to go, some of the concerns that I have, and some of the excitements that I have, and then we're going to talk all things Little Mermaid live action after that and what I thought of what actually happened during the film itself. So let's roll those clips to see this movie. Now there's a couple of things that I have concerns about. Start with the concerns and then we'll go to the things that I'm excited about. So the things that concern me are Melissa McCarthy as Ursula. I know this isn't a super popular opinion, but she just is kind of typecasted as like the slapstick comedian, and I am very, very, very concerned about how she is going to portray Ursula. So I'm a little bit worried about that. Also, I think Scuttle, Sebastian, and Flounder all look terrifying. Particularly Flounder, because he looks like he's one of those fish that have clear skin, and I don't like that. Like, out of all realistic fish, we chose a clear one, or a basically clear one. Maybe it's just how it was during the preview, and like as we get more into the film, it's not going to look as scary. I don't know. A little bit worried about that. And then the other thing is that I heard that a lot of the songs have changed. And now I knew that there was going to be some song changes. Totally knew that. But I'm just a little bit worried that it's not going to be those classic songs. I think they'll pay homage to them, but I have a tiny bit of concern. I heard there's a lot of changing of lyrics and moving things around, but that could have been a rumor too. I don't know. But we will talk about those things after we get done watching the movie. Now, things I'm excited about. I mean, Halle Bailey. Oh my gosh, I think she's going to be an incredible Ariel. Her voice is perfection. The renditions of the songs that I've heard so far, which I've only heard in full Part of Your World. I purposefully decided not to listen to the actual entirety of the soundtrack because I wanted it to be a surprise. I wanted it to be like a full, real reaction from a hardcore Little Mermaid fan. I wanted to give myself that present, I guess, to like hear the music in real life, in person during the film. Very, very excited about King Triton. Javier Bardem looks so perfect. He looks so perfect as King Triton. He has the perfect nose. He looks just like him, except I wish that they would have given him white hair, but I mean, that's like such a minute detail, not really that big of a deal. But I think he's gonna make a really good daddy. Like, I really do. Oh my gosh, and I'm so excited to see the sisters. So the sisters, I have become recently very, very obsessed with all of the sisters, all of their different colorations, what they represent, where they're from. I think it is so, so, so cool. So I'm excited to see how they incorporate the sisters into the film. I think that that's going to be really fun to see. So those are the things I'm looking forward to, and also the things that I'm a little bit worried about. So let's go pick up Sierra, let's get to the movie theater, and let's watch this movie. Ah! Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Oh my gosh, I'm like shaking. Okay, we're gonna rate the movie beforehand. Okay, Sierra.
I think like 3.5.
Seashells.
Seashells.
I'm gonna go with 3. I don't know why, but I'm doing it.
Ooh, okay, I'm gonna be the optimist here. I'm gonna say 4.2 seashells. I might regret that later.
We'll see.
We'll see.
What a thrill it's been to have been a part of this wondrous new film, and I'm so excited to be sharing it with you today. So sit back, relax, and enjoy.
I'm gonna start this with a little bit of a disclaimer. I've had a lot of negative comments lately, especially when I've been doing Little Mermaid videos, which is really honestly a bit sad. And so I feel like there's a bit of misplaced anger for people, to be honest with you, but that's another opinion of mine. So just so you know, this film means a lot to me. I'm very excited to review this film for you, but just take everything with a grain of salt. It's okay for you to have a differing opinion than I have, but I want to share it with you because this is like my most favorite movie of all time. And so I just feel like I have a lot to say about it, and I hope that you enjoy this portion of the video. Warning, there might be some spoilers. I just want to throw that out there, so just proceed with a little bit of caution. I'm going to try to be as spoiler-free as possible, but I do have a lot to say, and I don't really want to make a couple of videos reviewing this film. I would like to just get it all out there and let everybody know what's going on. Oh, so many opinions. Okay, anyway, please be kind to each other in the comments. There's no reason to get so hyped up about this film. There really isn't, so please be kind to one another. And let's get into this, hopefully mostly spoiler-free review. So we had a little bit of a rating system before the film. Sierra and Lindsay ended up giving it 3 seashells out of 5 after they watched the film. I also have to agree. I think I'm gonna give it a 3.5 out of 5 seashells, because for me it just didn't quite hit the mark exactly where I was hoping for it to. So let's talk about the concerns, and let's talk about the excitements about the film that I have. So let's talk about Sebastian, Scuttle, and Flounder. Okay, I have to say, I was so afraid of what they looked like when they were doing the previews, but I loved them in the film. I particularly loved Sebastian so much. He was absolutely perfect. The voice actor was chef's kiss. I was very, very impressed. He hit all of the quintessential Sebastian lines perfectly. And he, as a crab, did not look awkward. So just so you know, he looked really good. Flounder looked a little bit scary to me still, just because I don't like the clear skin is a little scary. I don't think he had fully clear skin, but maybe it's just because like his eyes are white and his skin was white. It was just, it was still a bit off, but the voice actor for Flounder was fabulous. He did such a great job, and so it made it a little less scary looking because he was really, really cute and really, really endearing in his voice. I thought Scuttle was awesome. She was so funny. So she's a gannet, not a seagull, and she's a she and not a he in this film. And what's really interesting is that they actually, and this is a little bit of a spoiler, I guess, but she has a rap song. It was confusing. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't love the rap song. And then it was so funny, as the credits were rolling, I was like, oh, it's executive produced by Lin-Manuel Miranda. It makes sense. He's known for writing all the songs in Hamilton and doing all the raps in Hamilton. And so of course, we've got another rap song. It was just so oddly, I mean, I like rap music. I like Hamilton. It was just oddly placed for me. And so it kind of took away from that particular scene. But that's just my personal opinion about it. Next, we're gonna talk Ursula. We are gonna talk Ursula. So Melissa McCarthy, I will eat my words. She did a good job. I will eat my words. Do I still wish that it was like Eureka the drag queen or a drag queen in that role? 1000% yes. But what I will say is my expectation of her having like some sort of slapstick type of humor, which is definitely stereotyping or typecasting her. I apologize for that. That was my assumption. And she really did a good job. She has a really cool voice in this film. She's very dramatic. She's all things that Ursula should be. Shame on those makeup artists though. What the heck? I know that they were trying to make her look similar to the animated film, but I just felt like they could have painted her a little bit better. I really missed the body language quote. I missed that so much. There are actually a lot of quintessential quotes from the original film that are not in this film, so just be prepared for that. Also, Flotsam and Jetsam don't talk, and I wanted them so badly to help, you know, trick Ariel and do all the things that they do in the original film and report back to Ursula. And, you know, they have really cool voices too, so I was kind of hoping that that was going to be a thing, but they are completely mute, which was kind of interesting. And also the poor unfortunate souls were so scary. They were like, I did not like that. That was, you know how things in the sea they are scary. That was scary. And if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. Come back after you've seen that film. Let's talk about those poor unfortunate souls, because those things scared the crap out of me. I don't even know. I'm like, why are you going in there, girl? Ariel, turn back now. That is so, it was like a jump scare, literal jump scare. It was so interesting. I thought that, I was surprised that they didn't use like the concept from the original film for those poor unfortunate souls. When you see the movie, you'll kind of understand. Now, I will say Poor Unfortunate Souls as a song, Melissa, chef's kiss. I'm so proud of you. You did a great job, and I'm sorry that I doubted you. Not that she's flippin' watching this, but I do feel like I definitely didn't give her the chance that I should have. And I think it's because I love the role of Ursula so much that I was very worried. very worried. And she did a good job. She did a good job. Let's talk about the acting. I feel like I need to mention this. The acting, it seemed a bit over the top in some moments, I think is a good way to describe it. It felt very, especially during Prince Eric's song, which the song that Prince Eric sings is stunning. And I love who they chose for Prince Eric. He was a great Prince Eric. He has an amazing accent. But it felt very High School Musical when Troy Bolton is like at the golf course, like singing. Like it felt like I was like, I like immediately was, I like turned to Sierra and I was like, oh my God, we gotta watch High School Musical. It was definitely like that moment, which I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, but it definitely felt like a little bit of overacting in some points, especially on the Vanessa part, which I will probably talk about Vanessa here in a little bit because that was a really interesting twist. She's a very dark character in this film, very dark, and it actually surprised me. Like it kind of made me scared a little bit. So the songs, let's talk about songs since we just talked a little bit about them. All the songs were stunning. Halle can sing. There is no doubt about that. I love her Town song, which is a new song. Also, I thought that Part of Your World was really pretty. It's not my most favorite rendition, and I really had high hopes for the reprise because I thought she nailed that reprise. But guys, there is something that she does on the rock, and this is spoiler, just so you know, quick spoiler. She takes her hands and like wiggles her hands like this, and it's very like, it made me like scared. It was something like so unnatural about how she moved her hands before she like got up, and maybe she was like trying to find her grip. I don't know what it was. It looked like a scary movie for like 2 seconds, and I was like, but I think that I have to be very honest. I think that it is just really unnatural to see things that you've only seen in animation come to real life. And for instance, one of those examples is how the mermaids moved. So when you watch Mermaid's animated version, their tails are what moves and their top parts stay still. In this film, it is just all body, like there are so many body rolls going on. It should have probably been PG-13. And I was like, is that how they move so quickly? And like, I am sure if you are a mermaid, or if you have one of the mermaid suits, you got to do a little like top movement. But it was aggressive. It was aggressive. And then when they go backwards, lots of body rolling. Also, Halle's abs, girl. Jeez, amazing. So anyway, that was unnatural to see, like in in real life. I just maybe had never thought of how mermaids moved. And so I kept going, oh, what are they doing? And they were not body rolling in the club. They were just chilling out, just getting to where they need to go. So good for them. No wonder they have such great abs. Oh my gosh, it was so funny. It was Kiss the Girl. There was a lot of controversy about Kiss the Girl because they changed one of the lyrics instead of to go on and kiss her, something along those lines, to ask her. Now, ask her is in the original song as well, but they just changed one of the main lyrics in the beginning of the song. It's a little bit noticeable, but oh my gosh, they did such a good job on that scene. I just feel like if you're not constantly listening to Kiss the Girl, you probably won't even notice it. There was a significant amount of controversy about it. I didn't feel that it was that crazy, to be honest with you. And that scene was really, really pretty. I thought they did a really good job on that scene. Now, talking about Under the Sea. Under the Sea left a little bit to be desired, especially during the beginning of the song. I was hoping that, kind of like in the original film, there's like kind of this crescendo, and then you have like all of these amazing sea creatures dancing together. It was more like individual sea creatures at different times. So it's like dancing with dolphins, and then dancing with turtles, and then dancing here, and then dancing there. And I kind of wanted it to just be all together, to where it was like super sensory color overload, where you were just seeing all of these different things. That lasted for about maybe 1 or 2 seconds at the very end of the song, and I really wanted it to pay homage to the original with how intense and fun that scene is. But all in all, still a good song. Sebastian did sing well, and it still was pretty funny. So let's talk sisters. Okay, I thought the sisters were going to have a more prominent role in this film. So, a little bit of a spoiler, there's no concert at the beginning. They just all meet together. And it was a little bit confusing. So the first part of the film I felt was a little bit slow. And then it really started picking up when she got legs, right? So the first part of the film was very drawn out, and they were kind of looking for Ariel. And it was really interesting because you didn't really know what they were doing. It was like they were gathering for something, but they didn't really tell you why the sisters were gathering. And that was really one of the only scenes that you see the sisters in. They are barely in this film, which in the original they were barely in, but I was surprised based off of the amount of merchandise that has come out for the sisters specifically, as well as apparel. Their sisters are everywhere. They were even on the blanket at the movie theater too. It was so interesting. You could buy a blanket there and it was all of the sisters, and I was surprised because I felt like it's definitely more of a Eric dominant film. Obviously Ariel is definitely the main focus, but if you were to give like a second place to whom was a supporting role, it was definitely Eric. Most definitely. So let's talk about Eric's team. Eric has Grimsby, who was perfectly cast. Grimsby was like the perfect comrade, companion, and guide for Eric. I love who they cast. He was so wise and such a lovable character, and so I really liked that part. Eric has a mom in this film, which was really interesting, and she was a really neat role as well. It definitely felt a little bit of a spoiler. Definitely felt like Eric and Ariel were kindred spirits in opposite ways in this film. They really made a point to show that, which was pretty interesting. And I thought I actually thought it added to the backstory of Eric because we really don't know a lot about him. Let's talk Ariel. Halle Bailey is number one, so stunning. Number two, can sing her buns off. She was a very, very, very good Ariel. I loved how well she was able to act when she couldn't speak during like most of the movie where she can't actually talk. She did such a good job at portraying emotion when she couldn't speak. I thought that that was very impressive. It speaks to how talented she is. Oh my gosh, she's so beautiful, and her costuming, that pink dress is like my all-time favorite. That pink dress will go down in history for me as all-time favorite dress from a live action film. It is so beautiful. She really captured the spirit of Ariel. I even felt sometimes that she even almost mimicked Jodie Benson's voice, or like you could tell that certain things that she was saying was very quintessential Ariel, like how you would think that Jodie would have voiced Ariel like that. And I thought it was a really cool like how she paid homage to that. Or maybe she didn't even try, maybe that's just how she speaks, but it definitely embodied it. She definitely embodied Ariel. Spoiler. I'm gonna say a spoiler, so I'll put like a timestamp here for you. There is a part where she goes into town and she's given a bowl of fruit by a vendor, and it happens to be Jodie Benson. And there is this part where Jodie says, "Oh, you're going to need this." And she hands her a fork or a dingle hopper, and Halle takes it and then immediately starts brushing her hair. And I got so emotional. It was such a beautiful moment, and I think that if you didn't know who that was, you wouldn't have picked up on it. But as a huge Little Mermaid fan, and I love Jodie Benson so much, I was just like, oh, got me in the feels. It got me in the feels. Okay, we gotta talk about him. We have to. Let's talk daddy. Let's talk daddy. Okay, so first of all, Javier Bardem looks the part. He definitely looks the part. He looks almost exactly like the animation, except he has gray, like dark gray hair. And he definitely has more of an Aquaman look. Like I felt like they took what Jason Momoa would look like in 30 years or 20 years and we're like, yeah, this is what we're gonna do with him. And I loved his armor. So he, instead of a bare chest, he has armor, and I thought that I was going to be offended by that because I wanted to see some bare chest, but it's made of mother of pearl, so it's like the inside of a shell, and oh my gosh, it's stunning. It's like iridescent and beautiful, and what I love that they did about him is they made him massive. So he definitely looks the part, right? Like he is a giant merman, which we love, and I'm so happy that they did that. I really liked the scenes where he was talking to Sebastian. I thought that that was really good. I did feel that there were some parts that he fell a little flat, and I think that if you watch the film, you'll kind of notice it almost, he was so stern that it almost felt a little bit emotionless, to be honest. But I did really love the ending scene where he turns her into a human and he says, "I'm gonna miss her," you know, those sorts of things. I thought that was a really beautiful moment. I actually cried during that moment. I thought that he did a really good job. His crown is stunning. I'm gonna make a replica crown of that hopefully very soon, which is like a random idea. If you want to see that, let me know down below. I'm happy to make a DIY. But anyway, the one thing that bothered me, no, there's more than one thing. The thing that bothered me the most was that they never referred to him as daddy. They only referred to him as father. Ursula calls him daddy, but like as being facetious. And I just really missed that, "But daddy, I love him" line. Like, it's just, to me, that line is everything. I have it on t-shirts and I have it on bags and I have it everywhere. It's my favorite line from the film, and I was like much anticipating the scene where he destroys everything in the cavern, and it left a little bit to be desired, in my opinion. Then let's talk Vanessa. So Vanessa was shocking to me. I was expecting her to look like Ursula and like a combination of Ursula and Ariel, and she was not either of those, which was interesting, which is fine. I mean, it doesn't really matter. She played the role very well, but she was evil. Like, she literally looked to me like a horror film actress. Like, there were things that she did that was like at the, I mean, I can't spoil that part, but there's things that are a little bit different than from the original film that she does. But when she's transitioning back to being Ursula, it was flippin' terrifying. She seriously has a career in horror films, and I hope that she gets an opportunity to act in them, because girl, that was scary. That was so scary. And she was so good at that evil laugh. I was very, very impressed by her as an actress. It was very different than what my expectation of Vanessa was. So that was kind of fun to be surprised in that moment. Now, overall, I'll say the film was well done. The first part, so very slow. So very slow. I felt like they probably could have shaved off 15 to 20 minutes, if not 30 minutes of that film. Oh my gosh. The most important, or one of the most important, Max. Max was in the film about 90% less than he should have been. He honestly was so, oh my gosh, he's so cute. They could have put him in every scene and I would have been happy. Every time he came on the screen, the crowd was like, like you could hear them audibly gasp because he was that cute. We were all rooting for him when he was jumping off the ship. Oh my gosh, he was perfect. And he's speckled. He's so cute, you guys. You're gonna love him if you... Overall, I think it was a good rendition. I didn't love all of the acting. There were some parts that felt a little bit disconnected for me. I'm gonna give it a 3.5 out of 5 seashells. I would love to know what you thought of this movie. Leave minimal spoilers down below. I don't want to ruin it for anyone who's reading the comments. Let me know what you think. Give it a seashell rating. Put seashells down there and tell me how many seashells you think this film was. I'm anxiously awaiting all of your spoiler-free reviews. I can't wait to discuss this film with you. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you all so very much. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Also, be sure to subscribe down below. Lots more Little Mermaid videos are coming out this month. Every single Monday, we have Mermaid Monday for at least the next month. So be sure to stay tuned, and I will see you guys in the next video. TTFN. Bye. Happy Little Mermaid premiere day.